Hello fellow investor, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about Bank of Nova Scotia or BNS. So the price you can see is 56 and 15 cents. Went down a little bit. It's almost flat, just about 2 cents down. He opened at 56.25, and we look at the 52-week range is 55 and 20 cents to 74.41. Volume is 306, almost 4 million of share being traded for today. We look at the market capitalization is a 67 billion. P ratio is only 8, so 8 is the lowest when it comes to financial and banking sectors, because bank they always have between 7 to 11. So 8 PE is at the lowest of the range. Better is the gauge, compare the stock versus S&P 500 volatility. So it's less than S&P 500, which is about 1. So it's not as volatile, so which is a pretty good, because of course it's a blue chip company, so you're not expecting to be as volatile. We look at the EPS, earning per share is about 639. It's pretty good earning. It's November 28th. For dividend yield is 7.55, almost about, if you round up, almost 8%, equates to $4.24. And these dividends they pay quarterly, so every 3 months they would pay you dividends. We look at the ex-dividend date. It's October 2nd, 2023. So if you're buying today, you are not going to receive the next dividends, but you will receive the dividend after that. So look at the range now. If you look at this graph, this chart here, during COVID time, Bank of Nova Scotia was about 75. Guess what? In June, actually, starting May, April 1st, actually, the stock crashed all the way to 55. And then it stayed that way all the way to October 1st. It was still at 55. And then after October, between November, it went up again. And by February 1st, 2022, the stock went all the way up to 91. So if we look at that, and then also it crashed again in September 2022. And if you look at the price of today, is of course day's range was 55.83. So it's literally reached the same level it reached during COVID. So that was the lowest since COVID is about 3 years ago, so that's something I just want to show you. But we're going to look at, this was just a brief, but what we're going to look is more of what analysts say about this stock. If you're thinking about buying, is it a good time to buy with its P, with its dividend? What's a recommendation? Should you buy? Because we look here, 1 year target is say 68. Right now we are 56, so more than $12. But is it this is just one analyst, right, from Yahoo Finance, but we have other analysts from Morningstar, which is a number I usually look for when it comes to investment, because Morningstar is one of the reliable sources. So anyway, before we go in there, I'm just gonna let you know, for people who maybe might not be familiar with Bank of Nova Scotia does. So before I read all that, just make sure, if it's your first time, just make sure you subscribe if it's your first time, or if you haven't subscribed. And if you like this content, just make sure you give me a like, because that will help me a lot. So Bank of Nova Scotia is what we call a Canadian international bank, meaning it's only one of the biggest Canadian banks. There are 5 of them, the bigger ones. It's only one that has a footprint all over the world. Other big 4s, they only have, of course, footprint in Canada and the United States. But this one, I'll show you here where they have invested all their assets. So Bank of Nova Scotia provide various banking products and services in Canada, the United States, Mexico, Peru, Chile, Colombia, the Caribbean, and Central America, and internationally. So internationally, including places like Singapore, in some Asian countries, I think Korea as well. So it operates in 4 segments: Canadian banking, international banking, global wealth management, and global banking and markets. So the companies offer financial advice solutions and day-to-day banking products, including debit and credit cards, checking and savings accounts, investment, mortgages, loans, and insurance to individuals and business. That's what Bank of Nova Scotia does. So it's a pretty good, and it offers a variety of services, which is good because you are diversified. Not only you provide service to individual, but also to businesses, right? And of course, sector industry is bank diversified, and then when it comes to sector is financial. Founded in 1932, country was founded in Canada, and it does trade on Toronto Stock Exchange, but ticker symbol is BNS. But if you are a person who live in the US, also you can buy this on New York Stock Exchange. The ticker symbol is also BNS. So if you look at the BNS and there's a .to, that's a Canadian one, when meaning Toronto Stock Exchange. When it's BNS with not .to, then that is US New York Stock Exchange, and also is in US currency. And at the price right now, instead of 56, it will be only $40. So we're going to our Morningstar analysts see what's the value price for now. So we look at National Bank analysts, right? They say price target is 66. When it comes to Morningstar, which is actually reliable, so for me personally, I really like this, and is more of reliable than any other sources that I know. So right now they say fair value right now is 72. Imagine right now is only 56, so that means it's way undervalued. And this report was only August 29, 2023. So just recently, right? That's the price they're giving, about 72. So if you buy now, not only you getting about almost 40%, but also you receiving those dividend, as I showed you, is about 8%. So altogether you getting almost 50% up, because you getting 35% value or growth of the stock, and also plus dividends. Trading central highlights. So we look at the short term, we have intermediate, we have long term, and so now we have something called support and resistance. This is a very important things for people who are looking to trade the stock for short term. But if you're a long term investor, you don't really need to look at these numbers, because you look at the fair value, how much they have, and you look at if you hold this stock for a little bit longer period of time, this is how much value you might be getting. Not only getting that, but also getting dividend, as I've said. But if you want to trade, you just have to understand the support is at 56. So that means the stock crashes to 56 and it doesn't go further than that. Between 56, 55, that's all, and then it goes up again. It bounced between 56 to 66, and it does not go past 66. So once it breaks these 2 points, whether it breaks 66 and it goes up, then there's a leg up. And if it goes to 56 and then it goes down more, then and it keeps going down, then it's not bouncing back. There's more downside. So that's all these numbers are for. We look at analyst recommendation for this stock. We can see there's a buy, there's a hold, and there's a sell. So nobody here. The strongest line is a hold, meaning 9 analysts are saying you hold it. So if you invest in this stock, don't panic, don't sell it, just keep holding it. We look at estimate is 73. That's the highest target, right? They're looking for, and then the lowest was 60, and mean, which is medium, is 66. So at any point right now, you look at all analysts are predicting stock will be going to 60. That means you're getting your almost 10%. But if it goes to 66, you're getting about almost 25%, of course, plus dividend. But if it goes to 73, that's almost 40%. So either way, the stock right now is very low, and it might be time to start nibbling the stock. So one more thing we're going to look, it is the news that came up today. So Bank of Nova Scotia, it did have some investment in Canadian Tire. Canadian Tire is one of the retailers that sell a bunch of things here in Canada, and they do have financial services, which they offer credit cards. And Bank of Nova Scotia had invested about 20%, but because they want to raise money, they sold the segment 20%, or almost 1 billion, and it was about $893 million. So they're going to sell that, and that earning, the money that they've received, they're going to report in tax in on their earning this year. End of this year, they're going to report about 319 million in its fourth quarter 2023. So that of course will boost their income, or their earning will be boosted by that number. So pretty much that will make a stock go up because they've sold asset, meaning the stock, that asset didn't give them much in terms of earning and revenue. So they decided to sell, to kind of clear the way for them to have more money and they can focus on other things. So that's all. I just want to give you an update on Bank of Nova Scotia. And if you're an investor who is considering buying this stock, those are the number you have. The number when the valuation of the stock and where it's heading from here. So if it's your first time on this channel, just make sure you subscribe so you don't miss this type of update and you stay in the loop for any type of investment you're doing. And if you find this content help you in any way, just make sure you give me a big smash. Thank you very much for watching. Till we meet again on next video, which will come soon. Bye bye.